Okay, welcome back to the channel, and I think it's time to do something with the 30 gallon, so let's get to it. Right, so as I said in my last video, I was going to do something about the tanks that I've got in the room. The first one I've decided to do is the 30 gallon. It's looking pretty good, but like I say, it was always meant to be as a bit of an experiment. It was never meant to be set up as a permanent tank. There's not much in the way of decorations. I just dumped some rocks in there, and it needs upgrading a little bit. But I've decided to do this one first because at the moment, because the 45 gallon is empty, I've got somewhere to put the fish. So first thing I'm going to do is start getting some of the plants out, get the hardscape out, then I'll start catching the fish and putting them in the 45 gallon. So I'll turn the camera around, I'll let you have a look at it last time before I start demolishing it, and then I'll start taking the stuff out and moving stuff around. So we'll be back in a minute, then I'll just move the cameras out. So as you can see, the tank's looking nice and healthy. There's plenty of growth. Even the vallus has decided to keep on growing this time, but yeah, like I say, this was only an experiment when it was set up to make sure that the plants wouldn't spread. It's time to do something about it to make it look a bit better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start emptying some of the water out into the 4-foot tank. I've already got some water in there. I've had a heat in there overnight. So by the time the fish go in there, it'll be the equivalent of having a water change. So I'm going to start moving the fish. Sorry, I'll get you right. I'm going to start getting rid of the plants in the hardscape, and then I'll probably show you again what it looks like after that, because the number of fish in here is ridiculous now. There's just so much breeding going on with these guppies. So what I'll do, I'll get the hardscape out, I'll get the plants out, and then I'll get back to you and I'll show you what it's looking like. So we'll be back in a minute after that. Okay, so as you can see, the hardscape's out, the plants are out, and there's a lot of baby fish in there. So yeah, I'm going to take all of these out. You might notice the cooler loach up in the corner, who hasn't been seen for 6 months. He's still alive and well. Lost a couple of the pandas, but yeah, the next job is to get all these fish out of here into the 45 gallon. I'm going to take some of the water out, tip it in there, and they'll be a little bit more acclimatised to it, and then we can start rescaping. So that'll be the next job. So I'll get that sorted and then get back to you. Okay, so here we go. So that's the majority of the stuff out. As you can see, I've left the plastic in at the back. I'm going to take that out in a minute, but all the substrate that's in there I'm going to leave in. I'm going to mix some fresh stuff in. It just seemed pointless taking it out when I'm just going to put it straight back in again. So I've cleaned the front of the glass, I've given the side a bit of a wipe on the inside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the plastic card out, put some extra substrate in, mix it up so we've got a nice base for the plants to grow in when they go in there. So hopefully it'll just a case of grabbing it and pulling it out like that. Oh, it's awkward doing it with the camera. So, yeah, and then just get a blade, get rid of the stuff on the side. Not too bothered about the stuff on the bottom or on the back, it won't be seen. So just slice that off and pull it out of the way. So yeah, what we're going to do now, I'll do it off camera because it's in the way a little bit. I'll get the substrate in. Like I say, I'll put some extra aqua soil in there, mix it all in, get a nice nutrient base at the bottom, and then I'll cover it with sand, top it off, and then I'll get back to you when that's done, and we'll start putting some aquascaping in. So it'll be a couple of seconds for you, maybe half an hour for me, and then I'll get back to you and we'll carry on from there. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so that's the capping sand on at the back. What I've done, I've used the sand that came out of the front of this tank, given it a rinse out, cleaned it a bit, and I've used that at the back. I haven't got much sand left, so I have to recycle where I can. I've got some nice fresh sand for the front here, so that'll look nice and tidy when everything's sorted out. But yeah, now it's time for some hardscape. I've got a few nice pieces of wood that I've managed to get from Kids Road Tropicals, my local fish shop. So what I'm going to do, I've had a bit of a play about outside the tank, so I know roughly where they're going, but I do get the feeling that I'm going to have to prop them up with some rocks. So I've got a selection of stones that I can use. So what I'll do, I'll put the wood in where I think it should go, and then we'll put it in place, hold it in place with some stones. It's probably going to need gluing. One of the pieces at least is very new, it's not been used before. So yeah, that's the next thing on the list. So the first one I got was this one, coming down to this side. And the way I try and do it is, if you look, obviously there's pieces where it's been cut. Well, I want to try and hide them if I can. So I thought if this piece goes over in this corner, yeah, that's definitely going to need something underneath it. Yeah, just a little stone. I've got some little pieces out of the tank that just something to hold it up into place. Try and get it so it's looking as natural as possible. So yeah, because I'm going to have the filter down in this corner this time rather than the other side, blowing across. And yeah, the heater at the back here plants most of the way across the back, and then the epiphytes that I've got dotted about on the driftwood and the stones. So yeah, that's where that one was going. Like I say, this is a new piece of wood. It's never. Oh, that was the display cabinet. It's never been in an aquarium before, so this is undoubtedly going to need to be glued to some stones because it's just going to float away. Same again, needs a piece of stone underneath it. Just a little piece. That'll do. Just to hold it up where I want it. Like I say, leaving a bit of a gap at the back of here because there's going to be plants all the way along there. And then this one, which we decided this was going that way, I think. Was it? Oh. Somewhere like that. So yeah, that's the basic for how the tank's going to look. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some stones in there, glue everything down, and then I might even get the sand in the front while I'm at it. I think I can't really envision it like that. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll get the stones in, glue everything down into place, get the sand at the front, and then I'll get back to you and we'll start thinking about getting some planted here. Okay, so we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so that's all the hardscape in. Everything's been glued into place, so but what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it till tomorrow, make sure it's properly dried, and then we'll start sorting the plants out, and then hopefully pretty soon after that we can start getting the fish back in. So yeah, what we're going to do, like I said, I'll leave it tonight and then get back to it in the morning. So yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, so it's the next day, and as you can see, wood's pretty solid now. That's not going anywhere, the glue's gone off. But one thing I did forget yesterday was scatter gravel. Now I put a bit of water in it because I was going to start planting, and then I realised what I'd done. So I've got some gravel, I've rinsed it pretty well, and just hope it doesn't dirty the water up when I put it in. So that's going to be going around some of the rocks, not all of them, because I've got some dwarf sage and I'm going to be planting it in and around some of the rocks in the foreground. So I'm going to put a little bit of scatter gravel in, just to make it a bit of a transition from the big rocks to the sand. So yeah, that's the next job, so we'll do that now. I don't want too much going in. Like I say, around this area and over here I'm going to put the dwarf sage, so that area is going to be kept clear. So a little bit in there, a little bit over here, I don't know if you can see that. And then maybe a little bit up the back of there. Oh, the stones there. Okay, I'm not putting much in, just to make it look a little bit more natural. So, yeah, that'll do. That's all we're going to do. So anyway, the next job we've got to do is I've got some dwarf sage that came out of this tank originally. I'm going to plant that in the foreground, maybe around the back of a couple of the rocks. Hopefully it'll go through. So I'll just sort that out, I'll get back to you and then we'll start planting that. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so the plant that I'm going to be putting around the rock is this, dwarf Sagittaria. It's a nice little foreground plant, stays pretty low growing, it's very easy to look after, but it actually propagates by sending out little runners. So you'll put one plant in and it'll send out another runner and grow another little plant, so it should spread across a lot of the foreground. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and fill in some of the gaps behind the rocks where I've left spaces, just to give it a bit more extra colour and a bit more extra green in there. You gotta like a bit of green. So what I'll probably do is go into fast forward mode, throw some of them in, and then I'll probably just do most of it off camera, but I'll just show you what I'm going to do, where they're going to go. So I'll go to fast forward and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got all the dwarf sage in there that I want to get in there. As you can see, I've topped the water up a bit. That's to get it ready for the next plants which are going in there, which is the epiphytes. So I've got some 3 different kinds. I've got some Anubis Nanar Petite, which I've already got glued to some stones which were in the last tank. I've got some Java fern and some trident fern which I'm going to put in. So they're going to go in, wedged in the stones or placed about where I can get them to stay. So that'll be the next thing that's going in, so let's get on with that then. They're just going to be dropped in here and there. There's like I say, there's 3 of them. So trying to get them where spaced out a little bit. One at either end, one in the middle. One. I'll be able to just wedge it into there. Yeah, that looks good. So, yeah, so that's them in. Now comes the interesting bit. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Java fern, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trident, which I'll be honest have seen better days, but we'll see how they go. So what I'm going to do, because the camera's in the way, I'm going to go off camera and I'll put them in and then come back to you when it's done. I'm really going to have to arrange a better way of doing this, but there you go. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so they're pretty much in there now. There's just one more to go in, but I thought I'd just show you this because I thought it was interesting. This is the Java fern, and there's 2 ways that this can spread. As you can see, there's extra little plants coming out of the rhizome at the bottom, but also if you look at the leaf, or this leaf in particular, you can see there's another little miniature plant growing out of it with the roots already on it. Now if I wanted to, I could pluck that off now and throw it in a tank and it'd grow, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it on there because there's a few more in there with the same thing. So yeah, just see how they go, see what happens with them, and keep you informed on that. But I thought you might be interested just to see that. So anyway, I'll pop this one in and then I'm going to start getting the heater and the filter in place, because it's cold water in a warm room and everything's steaming up. So that'll be the next trick, and I'll probably leave that on overnight now, just so it brings it up to temperature. I won't put the filter on. In fact, I don't think I'll put the filter in until I've got the water level some more. So I'll get this in, get the heater in, and then I'll probably be back in the morning to carry on. Well, no, not in the morning, because it's our anniversary. It'll be the day after now. So I'll get this in and get the heater in, and then I'll be back in a couple of days. Okay, I'll see you then. Take care. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. It's time to carry on with the planting now. I've got 3 background plants that are going to go in there. The bacopa, obviously, because I always put bacopa in because I'm good at growing it apparently. I've got some Amazon sword and some valleys that came out of this tank. I'm just going to put them back in. I'm not sure how it's going to go yet. I'll probably put the valley sword in a clump and put patches of the other stuff and just see if it spreads. So yeah, I'll turn the camera around and we'll start getting the plants at the back, the background plants. So yeah, that's next on the list. Okay, so the first plant that I'm going to put in is the Amazon sword. It's the biggest plant out of all of them. These are pretty well established. Like I say, they came out of the other tank and they've grown really well in there. So I'm hoping they'll continue to do well in here. I've had no runners off them yet, but I say if you look at the plants, they're really well established. There's some lovely growth on them. So yeah, I mean, compared to when I planted them in, these are a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the roots, wrap them into a ball, and then just dig a hole with my fingers and plant them in various places along the back of the tank. So yeah, just a bit like this. So I'll try and keep them out of the way for when the other plants go in. But there's 4 of these. There's a small one here. So I'll put this over in this corner. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But I have to adjust my camera angles a little bit so you can see what's going on without too much glare. Well, there's actually, no, I thought there was 4. There's actually 5. So that's all good. A few of these smaller leaves. Yeah, just wrap it round It just makes it so all the roots are in the substrate rather than drifting about like they are in the dwarf side at the front. Like I say, I'm just spreading them about, trying to make it so there's as little of the background showing as possible. I say when the bacopa goes in there, that'll probably cover a lot of it. That'll be going in between these all the way along the back here. Just trying to make it so I've got space to work. Okay, last one. This one, I think I'm going to plant it a little bit further forward. Just in front, there's a, no, I can't get in there, there's a rock there, that'll do. Just behind the wood there. So yeah, that's all of those in. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to get the bacopa and the vallis, and I'll go off camera and plant them in, because that's going to take an absolute age because there's a lot of it. So I'll get back when that's done. I'll probably fill up some of the water as well. I'll be taking that out of the tank that the fish are in, so it starts to acclimatise the fish to both tanks. I'll be swapping water between the two, so it'll be 2 jugs into this one and then 1 out of this into the other, just to get them used to the water conditions, acclimatise them, and we'll go from there. So I'll just get these other plants planted and then I'll be back in a minute. I'll see you then. Okay, well, I've got all the plants in that I can at the moment. I'll probably need to fill the tank completely before you get the rest of them in. It's just difficult to see where they're growing while the water's down low. It's just over 3/4 full now, but I'm saving some space in there for when I put the fish in, because like I say, the water's going to be the same, so I can just scoop them out of one, put them in the other. There's one thing that I do want to talk about, well, 2 things. First thing is, I'm not going to put the filter in there yet because it's in the 45 gallon with the fish at the moment, so that's just staying conditioned in there while the fish are in there. As soon as I move the fish over, the filter will be coming over with it. Second thing is, I'm going to try some CO2. Now, for anybody new to fish keeping, basically it's a system that helps the plants to grow. Plants need CO2, and what it does, it just dissolves more CO2 in the water and helps the plants to grow, as well as the nitrates that they need and other minerals that you can get with the plant food. You can get systems that will pump CO2 into the water. Well, there's various different systems and some of them are quite expensive, but the one I've got is just something cheap and cheerful, which is this one. Like I say, it was £16 off eBay. So I'm going to set this up and hopefully it'll help the plants to grow. So what I'll do, I'll set that up, I'll get it in the tank, and then I'll let you see how it looks, and then I'll probably leave this video for there. I'll see if the plants grow in a bit. The water is a little bit murky at the moment, you'll have to forgive me, because like I say, there's no filter in there. So for now, we'll put the we'll put the CO2 in, and I'll show you the tank, see how it looks. It's looking okay. Like I say, the plants are a bit higgledy-piggledy at the moment. They've got to sort themselves out as they grow. But yeah, I'm happy with how it's looking at the moment. So yeah, sort this out, and then I'll put the camera on the tank, leave you with a bit of music. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the very near future, I hope. Okay, so take care. Bye bye.